Eddie G. TV. Eddie G TV. Eddie G TV. Eddie G TV. Eddie G TV. Bonus Eddie G from Eddie G TV. We got my guest today, Jackie Armour.
How's it going?
Welcome to the show.
See ya.
Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, back to the show, hey.
Yeah, this is our second time. We got a pretty good one with I met you through Winston.
Winston Matthews when he had his first fight out in British Columbia, just before we went to that fight.
Yeah. So that's been 2 years ago. How have things changed at the club?
That just keeps growing. The club, as far as Black Eye Boxing goes, we just keep getting more and more members, and we have a few pros up at the club as well, but a lot of amateur fighters, a lot of amateurs.
Yeah.
Going a lot of different places. I was in Cleveland 3 weeks ago, and I think that's the third time I've been there now.
Yeah.
With Winston, we ended up going to the Contenders Series a couple years back. We did 2 trips to Jamaica, stayed in a house that was all for us, and had our own chef and our own pool.
How was that?
It was like living like a rock star, right? It was
nice.
Really nice. And then I'm going to Barbados with Nikita Abbott. She's an amateur fighter that I've had for a lot of years. She's actually been at the club since she's 9, and now she's 21.
Okay.
She's at 39 bouts now, and we're going to fight the national champ in Barbados on September 1st. So I get to go another trip with that one, so it's pretty cool.
So how do you know when somebody's ready to go amateur to pro?
Yeah, it's kind of a feeling. Number one, they got to want it.
Yeah.
And it's something that, I don't hold back now. If I think they've got the talent to go pro, I start telling them at a young age or early on and see if they'll strive towards it. Boxing is the hardest sport because you have to dedicate your life around it, right?
For sure.
And I get to kind of know everything about them. And so, I don't know, they don't have to be the best in the amateurs, but, you see growth and them getting better. And the main thing for me is not to get them hurt, right? So.
Yeah.
It's the same as the amateurs too. Like when they come up and they start training, when are they ready to fight? Some kids want to fight right away and they're not ready. So I don't like just throwing them in there. I like to give them a good chance to win their fight. So it takes time, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I remember I was just watching our first interview, and you said before you were doing boxing and stuff like that, you're coaching hockey and baseball.
I don't know how I found the time to do that, and now boxing just overtakes my life. I mean, I have my own painting and wallpapering business, and I keep busy through the day, but when I'm not there, I'm at the club, right? So.
Yeah, so how is that, and what are the differences of coaching, coaching coaching?
It's all really the same. You have to be a good motivator. You got to know your your fighters, or your baseball players. But boxing is more personal. You need to know more about them. You know what I mean? You need to know what makes them tick. Because then there's the moment that's sitting at the side of the ring. You got to be able to fire them up, right?
Right.
And they've got to trust you. You got to have relationships. And they got to be honest. Because if they're fake, they're going to know that, right? So.
Exactly.
So a lot of work goes into boxing, a lot more behind the scenes than what just people see. And they'll hear values that people got for certain fights, but it wasn't the fight; it was the work that went into the fight.
Exactly.
Like Carl and I, for his fight September 14th, we've been training. We're going to be training for 2 months leading up to that. Plus all the training that went on before that, right? But 2 months of serious training.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of your time, right? A lot of dedication.
Oh, for sure. So it does take time to build up for a fight. How often do you think boxers should fight?
My personal belief, if we can get 3 to 4 fights in a year professionally, then you can't sit around because everybody's getting older, right?
Right.
So if you got someone like a Carl Hess that could do something in the sport, I'd like to see him fight 4 times a year.
4 times a year.
Yeah, and we got to remember too, though, they're also working. Carl works at Adidas, and he's working 10-hour shifts.
Yeah.
So it's not easy, but that's
any of these things. I've had people come up to me and be thinking that I'm this is the only thing I do.
Yeah.
I'm like no, I have another job too as well, right? It's not the only thing I do, right?
No, I think people get surprised when they see posts I put out about me actually working. I thought you were just over boxing. No. The boxing club is actually just a non-profit club. There's no money to be made there.
Yeah.
The money that we make, with these shows that we have August 17th next Saturday, that money will go in the bank, and then it helps to pay for trips with the kids that place. And now that I'm getting such elite type fighters and that have many fights, it's hard to find fights for them locally, so we have to travel more, right? So there's gas money and hotel money and food money, and so it costs, right?
Definitely. So what is the youngest ages of like boxers you got?
I haven't stooped to that low age yet, but a Boxing Ontario recently dropped, I think, to 7 or 8 years old that they can actually fight, but there's no winners. I like it. They raise both their hands so they don't get discouraged with the game. And I think they don't have an actual winner until you're in your 11th year. So you can start fighting, say, at 8, so you can fight 8, 9, 10, and then when you're 11, then you have winners and losers. Yeah. And I think it's good. I like that kind of idea.
I kind of seen that in some of the schools where like participation like trophy like for kids. Like I don't know if I really like feel that, because in like I don't know, competition is like something that's like in a lot of us.
I think I know where you're going. Like, I think in this world now we've made everything so simple.
Yeah, it's like
everybody gets the trophy and everybody. But I think in this case, I've seen so many really good fighters, technical, come in and they lose and they quit, and they really shouldn't have. They would have been in 3 or 4 years in the sport, they would have been that much better. But they feel like they're a loser, so they quit. So I think there is some kids that need that both hands raised. Like I say, 11's still young to start competing for a winning and losing, and I think it's the right age.
Yeah, I think even like just like even like losses, I think really like kind of like build the character of people that are made for it, right? Like
I have memories back to when I was like 9 playing t-ball at the Gretzky Center, and it was the Firefighters League, and we were playing, and it got canceled due to rain, and we lost. And I remember not crying, but just sitting on the bench with my head down, and a fire truck pulled up and took the black team, we were the green team, and took them on the truck and drove them around the park with the siren going. I'm thinking, oh my, I'm never losing again. Yeah. And obviously I did, but I think every year of baseball, out of those 2 years, we usually won, and I was a big contributor.
See, that's what I mean. Like that kind of stuff can like motivate you. Like
it creates. Like,
it creates like
So like now I hear like soccer, they play all game long, and then they just both teams win. There's no winner. No, life's not that easy, man. You got to learn. You got to motivate. But I do think in boxing, from that age
to a certain age,
yeah. Because I think there's a lot of good fighters we lose because they just think they're not going to ever win. Yeah. But the cool thing about boxing compared to what we're talking about baseball, soccer, is it's an individual sport. I mean, they have me, but I'm not really I'm not in there with them throwing the punches. I might be doing a lot of yelling on the outside, but you're on your own, right?
So for nutrition, it's not only just about working out and stuff like that. It's about nutrition. What do you tell some of the boxers? Like,
I work on all sorts of different things, like with Facebook and everything. There's things that come out, and I'll try it myself even. Yeah. I took 20 pounds off a number of years ago just eating right, and it you have to have cheat days. Like you're talking about, Carl, with potato chips or pizza or wings. Yeah. You got to have those days just to have mentally be sane, right?
Right.
But then you got to get back on it. So stay away from the pop. Simple choices. Like cut down on the amount you eat can make a big difference.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But I don't go too crazy on my own diet. But I mean, I do try to eat healthy. And one of the things for you people that if you ever want to start just getting on a better way of eating, the first thing to do is just on your plate have something good. Have something that's good on the plate, and then it just kind of motivates you a little bit more, right?
Right. Even like even sometimes I work, if I bring in like something I cook up, and I'm like looking forward to break, and like I'm like if I don't bring nothing to work, I just grab a bag of chips out of like the vending machine or something like that. I'm just like, oh, whatever, break's coming. Like
it's not good. I mean, they're bad choices, right? But that's the choice you're making right now, and then if you can make a better choice, then you try to, right? But like I say, you'll go crazy if you just try to eat properly all the time, right?
Exactly.
So you got to kind of take it one step at a time, and then you'll get to where you want to be, right?
Right. So, you guys are in Eagle Place in that location. How do you feel about that location?
I love it. I mean, a tough area when I was a kid coming into Eagle Place, right? So it's kind of, I'm from the North End. I grew up in the North End, but I had a lot of friends down in Eagle Place.
Yeah.
When I was a kid too, and even Gretzky was in on that, but when we started playing hockey, it was park hockey. That's where all those green boxes to flood the rinks. And the way Brantford worked, I don't know if other cities were the same way, but you played for your sort of division. So I grew up in the North End, so I played for Centennial and Fairview School, and then you came and played the guys that were from Eagle Place. So everybody kind of knew where you lived, like what area you're from, just on what team you played for.
Right.
So it was kind of cool that way, like growing up. That, so that was with baseball as well, right? Not too many guys. I don't think anybody that grew up in the North End played for the Eagle Place team, right?
Right.
So districts, it was kind of cool that way.
But. Yeah. I've lived in Eagle Place. I'm not far from Eagle Place now.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely it's definitely a good area. I had a good times. It was.
We're 20 years in that spot now. Like this is my
years?
20th year in that building, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Sometimes I think, what if we moved, or if it gets too big, and really don't want to go anywhere. I really like that spot.
Yeah.
And I'm getting older, so I'm trying to think as well, like where are we headed? Like who's going to be the next one to step up, and what can I leave them? Where would we want to be? And I hope we stay here for as long as we can.
We talked about the youngest boxers there. How are they? Who's like the oldest boxers? What age?
We have an amazing bracket of people that come up. We have wives and husbands. We have mothers and daughters, and fathers and sons, and I would say we have a few, but the oldest would probably be around 70 years of age.
Okay.
He's had a couple injuries as of late, so he doesn't really do the workout completely, but he'll do what he can. When they're running, he might walk. When they're skipping, he might be doing his own little footwork drills, right? So we have an array of ages. So our classes are Monday and Wednesday, and from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, it's 15 down to 8 years of age. So that's the kids class. We get around 30 kids out, pretty much per class. And then our adult class is right after that from 6 to 7:30, and that's from 15 to whatever, right? And I'm there usually working with the fighters, because we have quite a few fighters. So they're in the class while it's being run, and I'll pull people off and have them sparring. So it's a kind of nice, it's 5,000 square feet. It's kind of neat because there's people hitting the bag and doing their workout.
It is a good, nice. I remember being in there.
It's packed. And my son, Andrew Armour, he had 17 fights. He's one of the coaches. Rob Rutherford's another coach that's up there that's been even there longer than me. I think he's around 22, 23 years. And then we've got some new guys. Daryl Paquette. He's not new now, but he helps coach as well.
Yeah.
So we have an array of coaches, which is kind of nice to have, right?
Okay, so where can people find all the information and
we're everywhere. Like you can get us on Facebook, Black Eye Boxing. You can get us on Instagram, Black Eye Boxing. You can have me on Facebook. I think I'm just under Jackie Armour or whatever.
Yeah.
But we're out there quite a bit promoting everything that's going on. Like this weekend's my first weekend without being on the road somewhere. I think I went 8 weekends in a row. Even like a couple weekends ago, I was in St. Catharines on the Friday night, and then on the Saturday I took 4 up to Sarnia. So I have so many fighters now. It's hard to keep them all happy. So you're going all the time, right?
Yeah. So I was asking Carl about different people like he's inspired by different boxers and stuff. Is there different trainers that you ever looked at like big time like Customato or?
I really like Customato stuff. Like Carl, I mean, he never said in his interview, but he's very similar to Tyson. We trained him a lot with that type of head movement, and it takes a lot of energy to be able to do those kind of moves. So you know that's why the cardio level has to be to the next extreme. Customato, I just love everything I see about him when I watch. Like there's certain trainers I definitely emulate to like watching, and there's some that I don't really see their points, right? Yeah. And then I was lucky.
Who are some other ones? Because all I really know is.
Well, if you're looking for pad drills, the Mayweathers, like Floyd Mayweather Sr. and stuff, he's good to kind of watch. You kind of steal a little bit of everything, right? Yeah. The way, to be honest, the way that I train is I think the jab's the most important. And I work a lot of jabs, and I look at some of the best jabbers like De La Hoya and try to emulate that style. Like, you know, you're kind of pushing it in there, and next you're snapping it, you know. And I looked at left hooks and rolling left hooks like Tyson used to do. So a lot of the moves are some of the best knockout moves that fighters had. Or or like say Ali, how good he was with the footwork. So you know, you got to be able to do it all with them, and then depending on what stature of fighter you have. Like, he's not going to be a footworker, so he needs to be more like a Tyson, move the head, work the inside, work the body. And then saying that, body work is one of the things that I think our club works more body than any club out there, because they don't really score a lot of points to amateurs on the body, but I still think if you kill the body, you know, the head will fall, right? So,
for sure.
So we're always working a lot of body work stuff. So yeah, I watch different trainers and get different things from kind of everyone. And I was lucky enough 3 weekends ago, we're in Cleveland, I got to meet Floyd Sr.
Oh, nice.
He was actually there for the event, so I got to actually have some words with him, which was really cool.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, like, the training on that, because, like, yeah, like, how often he's been hit, like, you see how old he is after that many fights, and you look at him, and like, doesn't even look like he's been hit.
No, he's like, I think I'm 56, he's 66, so he had like 10 years on.
Yeah.
I said, put one on my chin, Floyd, and he actually went right through with it for the shot, so it was kind of cool. It was kind of like we just our personalities were the same, we just hit it right off. It was really neat. People were like starstruck what to ask him. I'm saying, when you flying home, just like small talk conversation. It was really cool, right? So.
Awesome. Yeah, so tell a little bit about this event before we go. Yeah,
so we usually run 2 shows, one in May and one in August. The May show was phenomenal. People are saying we had like 600 roughly people at the curling club. This is where we hold it, at the Brantford Curling Club, 34 Morale Street. So we're holding our August show there as well. We named this one Let the Bangers Bang, bangers being our fighters. Yeah. And this is a clip at our club outside. Or picture, and it pretty much has all the people I was trying to match for our card. I have 11 of them matched on the card. So it's August 17th, which is Saturday. Doors open at 5. First fight is at 6. And Alex Matheson, we tout him the farm boy. He's going to be our main event on this card, because Nikita is going away the following weekend. I want to take a chance of getting her hurt for the Bermuda, or where we go, wherever we're going, right? So. So it'll be a good card if you guys want to come out. We only charge $15 pre-sale tickets, and we charge $20 at the door. If you want tickets, you can call me at 519-732-7267. That's 519-732-7267.
Okay. It's AGTV.
Thanks, man.